What's going on, everybody? It's time yet again for another detailed video. And yes, I am talking over me talking. And the reason for this is because when I went to edit this video, I realized that having no mic, you can barely hear what the hell I'm saying. So I'm going to over talk what I'm saying. And if you want to listen real hard to what I'm saying previously before the over talk, because some of it's real funny, you can just listen real hard. But basically, I started out talking about how I'm not in the club drinking right now, that I'm at home folding all these towels because that's just how it is for me. I'm a business owner for myself, and I chose detailing as a trait. So every night I come home from work, I gotta wash and fold 100, 150 towels. Tonight I happen to be, I think the number I threw out was 306 towels, because I feel like this truck I worked on today, just the interior alone took me 306 towels. So in the video start, I'm talking to you really about how the day for me kicked off horribly as I rolled out of bed and continued on throughout the day. But when I had got to the job site today, which happened to be a dealership that I do some work for, when I rolled up on the dealership, there was a couple of people going at it in the street, and it was absolutely hilarious. But basically, one person was blaming the other person for taking something that they probably had been sharing all night long together. And then this one dude was walking down the street mega fast, no shirt on. I'm pretty sure he didn't have no shoes on, and he didn't have shorts on, but he had like, I don't know, the jorts or something. They were like long jorts, like long past his knees, not all the way to his ankles, but halfway down his shins. I don't know. They looked absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, I don't think he had any shoes on, definitely no shirt. And he was power walking, and these two people were screaming at each other. Meanwhile, he is on the phone talking about, this lady is crazy. She thinks I stole her stuff. We were hanging out together all night long. Now, I'm telling you, I am 50 yards away from these two characters, and I can hear them screaming from left as they cross all the way across me to right, 50 yards to the 100-yard line. I can hear them screaming at each other. And at one point, the one lady had broke off from the scene, went back the opposite direction. I thought it was over, but what had happened was she realized homie was walking too fast. She had to grab a bike real quick. She hopped on a bike. I'm setting up to get my detail going for the day. She zooms past back by. I see her. I'm laughing at this point now. I had not laughed all morning because, like I said, it had been a rough morning. But anyway, she zooms back by. I am like, so I continue to set up, but I'm waiting to hear if I hear anything. And I hear, "Give me back my phone," she says. And I'm just like, oh, Lord have mercy. The saga continues. So I feel like, hey, maybe it's going to be an all right day. So I head into the dealership. Now, I didn't get to tell y'all, I don't know at what point in the storyline that I'm over talking, that I told y'all that I went to a dealership today, because sometimes I go to a dealership, if he has enough cars lined up for me, it's going to be worthwhile for me to show up, and I'm going to, make a nice little stack for the day. So I was at the dealership, setting up to get a detail. I walk in, say what's up to the owner. It's a little mom and pop dealership. He gets cars from the auction, pays me real nice. We worked out a nice little something. But anyway, walk in and say, "Hey, what's going on, Stu?" He's like, "Hey, Tim, how's your day going? This is what I got for you today." He's like, "I got 2 Dodge trucks for you out there, and I was wondering if you could go ahead and knock out my daughter's vehicle while she's out of town. I like to get that spruced up for her real quick. And then, when you come back next time, I'll have a few more for you, if you're back in a couple days." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Let me go ahead and get kicking on these trucks so I can get some work done for the lot, and we'll see how it goes. But I have to check out today. But I'm going to come right back, tomorrow. I plan on being here a couple days straight so I can knock out a few vehicles, and we'll get everything taken care of for you." Now, let me tell you that the plan is to go to the dealership and do at least 3 vehicles, because I know that's a lovely day right there. I don't care if it takes me 8 hours, 5 hours, 12 hours. It's a lovely day. In my mind, that's a lovely day for me, what I know I'm going to make. But anyway, so that's the goal. So get detailing. I grabbed the keys to these 2 Dodge trucks, right? So I'm looking at the keys and they're labeled up, and I'm like, I'm going to go with gold. So I look at the lot, looking at all the cars, and I can see the Dodge truck, the big Dodge truck parked out in furthest right corner front of the lot. So I walk out there. Now, let me tell you how I got a building to work under, like an awning building, and I have some bays like in the shop, actual shop that I can work in. But usually I'm, kind of in the awning and in the parking lot, which the parking lot is basically a dirt and shelves. So anyway, I go out. Excuse me, I'm a little parched. I go out and I get the gold truck. Now, as I'm walking up to the gold truck, I'm like, oh, this truck is not looking too shabby. You never know with the dealership cars, because they come from the auction. Sometimes he wants them, really spruced up on the inside. Sometimes he wants them really spruced up on the outside, like he's going to need them buffed and polished. Sometimes he just wants them, really cleaned up, for a basic quick sell. So anyway, I grab the Dodge, I hop in it, and I'm like, oh, this thing got a smell like 3 dead rats. And here's the catch. So I start backing up the Dodge, and I'm driving it back around to the awning where I'm going to detail, and I realize this thing is absolutely disgusting. This is the second worst vehicle that I've seen since I started doing work for this dealer. The first one being a Honda Ridgeline that looked like they boarded collies in there, border collies. This thing was full of hair. Now this one, the Dodge, looked like Chewbacca and all his homies were living in there for months while they were crossing galaxies, and they couldn't get out of the car one time. And the amount of hair that was in this vehicle was absolutely crazy. But what made it really crazy was it was all cloth. Like you really don't run across a lot of all cloth interior anymore. Usually seats are leather these days. You just don't come across cloth. And not only was it cloth, but I'm talking Dodge truck, like old Chevy truck, like that velvet cloth that everything sticks to. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, you can imagine that all of Chewbacca and his family's fur was just engraved into these seats, and no little comb for pet hair combs that out. You just, you got to put in the work sometimes. I know they make these videos look great out here, but sometimes you got to put in the work. So I knew right away, by the time I made it to my workstation, that I had chose the wrong vehicle to start with, and my day was right back to, not in the right direction. So I hopped out the truck and I'm like, forget about it. We're going to go positive. We're going to think positive, stay positive, and we're going to get this truck done. So I get set up to do the interior. Now, I want to get the interior knocked out because I know it's going to take me a while to do the interior. So my goal is to compartmentalize the vehicle. I'm going to start out passenger side, blow it out, clean the doors, clean the floors, clean the seats, clean the dash, the console, the cup holders, the cracks, the crevices, everything on that side, the seat belts, everything, right? So I clean everything down, scrub all the plastics and whatnot, the floor and the seats get cleaned. However, there's still hair everywhere. So I'm having to I got my blower and I'm blowing everything out, and it's just like endless. It's endless. And not only is it packed full of hair that won't go away, but it's got more sand and dirt in it than a quarry pit at a concrete plant, and it's absolutely insane. It wouldn't go anywhere. I wish that I could have taken the carpet out and just shaken the hell out of it and probably threw it in a dumpster really and put all new carpet, but that's just not my forte. And if the dealer doesn't want to pay for that, then he pays me to do what I do. So I just get to work and try to do the best I can. And so 2 hours into the detail, I realized, or at least I feel like I hadn't accomplished a damn thing. So that was aggravating. And needless to say, my day continued on in that direction. So it took me about probably 4 hours. Probably 4 hours to do the interior, and then I got to the exterior where it wasn't a big deal, but I had to get the engine clean. So when I popped the hood, you can imagine big Dodge truck engine that had never been cleaned before and was, 15 years old. So it was filthy. I had to spray that down, which is a routine thing for me. It's not a big deal to clean the engine. You can clean it. You spray with some cleaner, you spray with some water, you blow dry it off, and you wipe it down. You're good to go. So a couple hours later, I was done. Now, what I didn't tell y'all was it was storming throughout this whole ordeal. And remember, the parking lot was dirty. So I was filthy. I had ran through a bunch of shirts. You can see all these towels I ran through. And these are just the interior towels. I'm still washing the exterior stuff I used. And at that point, I made the sound decision that I was going to call it a day. So I called it a day, and I packed up all my stuff, which was another shit show in itself. Look, I still can't even talk. I'm probably having a little mini stroke right now. I don't know, but listen, horrible day. But I'm going to go to bed soon and wake up, and it's going to be a whole nother day. And that's a good thing, because tomorrow's not today, but today is tomorrow. Anyway, it's going to be a great day tomorrow. I got all these towels folded. I'm going to go grab about 75 more out of the dryer and put another 150 from the washer into the dryer and get those all folded up. And then, yeah, we'll call it a day. But I appreciate y'all entertaining my nonsense. And like I said, I'm over talking the other video because the quality was horrible. So I figure, why not over talk this? I can probably talk for days because I never stop running my mouth. But like I said, I appreciate y'all entertaining my nonsense, and I hope y'all have a stellar rest of your evening or daytime. No matter what it is, I hope the rest of your day is stellar, and I hope your tomorrow is stellar too. And yeah, come back and see what I get into next.